Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for warmly welcoming our family this evening. It is with great pleasure that I get to introduce the next Hall of Fame inductee, Chuck Ormsby. My name is Linda Ormsby. Chuck and I have been married for 42 years. We are blessed to have our children here with us, their spouses, and well, we had 9 grandchildren, but they're falling off. All 9 were here earlier. But we are blessed to have them with us tonight. Chuck and I first met at William Tennet Intermediate High School, but our relationship really began in 12th grade at the William Tennet Senior High School Gymnasium. Chuck was a varsity basketball player, and I was a varsity cheerleader. And during a junior varsity basketball game, we sat together and began talking. There was something different about Chuck, and that really piqued my interest. So we went on to senior prom together. We graduated together in June of 1977. Chuck went on to Franklin and Marshall College and graduated in May of 1980 as valedictorian of his class. After college, he went to George Washington Law School in Washington, D.C. During that time, we got married and had a baby, and even with all these new responsibilities, he graduated at the top of his law school class. His first job was with a big firm in Philadelphia. He worked endless hours and quickly earned everyone's respect. As a third-year associate, he was leading teams of people on major transactions worth hundreds of millions of dollars. It was very enticing work. However, after the birth of a third child, he realized that he was missing out on the things in life that were really important, and he decided to move to a smaller law firm where he could spend more time being a father and a husband. And that decision eventually led to Seminoff, Ormsby, Greenberg, and Torsha. Chuck grew that firm from a 4-attorney firm to a 30-attorney firm that now has 3 offices in the suburbs. Seminoff, Ormsby, Greenberg, and Torsha is one of the largest suburban law firms in the Philadelphia area and successfully competes with the big center city firms. In addition to his professional life, Chuck has had many successes in his personal life. He's a successful children's author. He's now working on his 4th book. He spent years being active in our local parish, ran a very successful and popular youth group in the Archdiocese. So popular, it was written up a couple of times in the newspaper. In 2006, our youth group work led us to do a service project in Uganda that Chuck now heads up called Building a Bridge to Uganda, which we affectionately call our family business. 17 years later, dozens of trips and hundreds of people have led to the success of this mission in the jungles of Uganda. In fact, last year, a documentary about building a bridge to Uganda was made called Rescued from Darkness. Our film has been accepted into 9 documentary film festivals and has won Best Documentary in 3 of them. Chuck's passion for this mission is palpable. His love for the children we serve in Uganda is undeniable. He loves sharing the good news of building a bridge to Uganda with everyone he meets. So, as I said earlier, there was something different about Chuck that really piqued my interest all those years ago during that junior varsity basketball game. And what makes Chuck different is he lives his life as a child of God. That is what defines him. His daily walk with the Lord is what brought us together and what brought him here today. His love for the Lord impels him to go out and live the gospel every day, not only in Uganda, but here as well. I am blessed to introduce you to my husband, a man worthy of this award, Chuck Ormsby.
differently. You'll see. I'll be quick, don't worry. First of all, I want to thank the nominating committee for nominating me. I have a funny story too, because I was told I could put my plaque together. And I asked my secretary, I said, call over there and ask them what they want on the plaque. So they sent some things over for everybody that's in the Academic Hall of Fame, you know, since the beginning, I guess. And I turned to my wife and I said, how the heck did I get on this list? I felt like you, Matt, right? And it really stunned me that I was being honored in this way. So it is a great honor. My grandson back there, the 9-year-old, turned to me and said, he called you crazy. I said, just because he loves me. So I said it was a compliment. But I really want to thank the Centennial School District. I want to thank William Tennet. I want to thank the nominating committee. I want to thank my wife, my kids, my grandchildren, and everybody that's had a hand in forming me over time. And that includes teachers, coaches, and so many other people here. But I want to talk about the invisible people for a second. And had an encounter. I've been to the jungles of Africa 14 times, and on maybe the 10th trip, we realized that we were having a lot of fun with the teachers. We had them for dinner. We were with the kids. We were having fun with their schools. We built schools over there. We have 5 schools right now. But there were construction workers that were building the buildings, right? And they worked in the hot equatorial African sun, right on the equator, 12 hours a day, and made $1 a day. $1 a day. And when we were at the beginning of building our high school, they slept in the jungle, on the ground with a mat. And so one of our board members was there, and he said, this isn't right. Like, we have to have a dinner with these guys. So we invited all the construction workers over that night. There was probably 25 of them. None of them spoke English except one, Kevin. Kevin stood up and he gave a speech. And his speech was essentially, nobody ever sees us. We're invisible. Nobody shows any concern for us or recognition, but you people have loved us. And thank you for loving us. And that's the way the world should be. And so when I think of that and I bring it back here to my high school, I want to thank the school bus drivers, the janitors who cleaned up the messes we made in the bathrooms, the cooks who made the food, the monitors at recess, the monitors during lunch, the crossing guards, all of those people. Because we always want to thank our teachers, right? But it's these other people too, the invisible people, that make a difference in our lives. And so, anyway, I'm going to end on a happy note here, because Tennet has a hand in what we do over in Uganda. And it starts with this guy. So this guy, his name is William. My wife met William one day. She was out walking in the jungle, and she came back out of breath, and she said, grab every piece of clothing you have, because I met a man that's wearing this. And this is William's shirt. And I would bet any of you, none of you would even say this is a rag. This looks like trash. You would throw it in the trash. So these people that we encounter there aren't wearing rags. They're wearing trash. But I took care of them because I gave him a William Tennet t-shirt. William Tennet is known over in Uganda. And one of the things that happened, we send sea containers over there, right? And we sent sea containers over there, and one time we sent all of these musical instruments. And when I was there for one of the trips, one of the kids that was in the band, the marching band, came up to me and he said,